why your first paycheck will be a disappointment. You did the math. That new hourly rate times 40 hours a week, times 4 weeks a month. It was supposed to be a huge number, your ticket to financial freedom, the end of being broke. You've been dreaming about what you do with it. Finally buy that new gadget. Move out, maybe even start saving. Then the notification hits your phone. Direct deposit received. This is it. You open your banking app, heart pounding, and then, wait, that can't be right. The number is shockingly small. Your mind starts racing. Is this a mistake? Did they short my hours? If you're looking at that number and thinking, where on earth did all my money go? You are not alone. This is the universal gut-wrenching moment of seeing your first real paycheck. But here's the secret. It's not the disaster you think it is. In fact, understanding this moment is the first, most critical step toward actually building wealth. Stick with me because we're about to pull back the curtain on every hidden deduction, explain exactly who's taking a piece of your paycheck, and show you how this disappointment is actually your first lesson in financial power. 1. The problem: gross pay versus the painful reality of net pay. That big, beautiful number you calculated in your head? That has a name. Gross pay. It's your total, glorious top-line earnings before anyone takes a single penny. It's your hourly wage multiplied by your hours worked, or your annual salary split up over the year. It's the number that got you excited in the first place. But here's the catch. You don't actually get to spend your gross pay. What lands in your bank account is called net pay, or take-home pay. And the journey from that beautiful gross number to your much smaller net pay is a story of deductions. Think of it like this. Gross pay is the fantasy. Net pay is the reality. And your pay stub is the roadmap that explains the difference. It can feel confusing, even infuriating to see that gap, but understanding it is your new superpower. It's the key to knowing where your money is really going, which is the foundation of all financial control. So let's become financial detectives and investigate the main culprits responsible for shrinking your paycheck. The first and biggest one? Taxes. 2. The diagnosis. Part 1. The non-negotiable villains. Taxes. Nobody enjoys paying taxes, but they are an unavoidable part of earning an income in the U.S. This is money your employer withholds and sends to the government on your behalf to fund public services we all rely on, like roads, schools, and national defense. On your pay stub, you'll see a few key players. First up is federal income tax. This is the tax paid to the U.S. federal government. The amount you pay isn't a flat percentage. The U.S. has a progressive tax system with 7 different tax brackets for 2026. 10%, 12%, 22%, 24%, 32%, 35%, and 37%. This just means you pay different rates on different portions of your income. For example, as a single filer in 2026, you'd pay 10% on your first roughly $12,400 of taxable income. Then you'd pay 12% on the next chunk of income up to about $5,400 and so on. So don't freak out if you hear you're in the 22% bracket. It doesn't mean you're paying 22% on all your money. The amount withheld is an estimate based on the W-4 form you filled out when you got hired. Next are FICA taxes. FICA stands for the Federal Insurance Contributions Act, and it's a non-negotiable 7.65% tax on your gross pay for most people. It's actually 2 taxes smashed together, Social Security and Medicare. The Social Security tax is 6.2% of your earnings. This money goes into a massive fund that provides retirement, disability, and survivor benefits for millions of Americans. You pay this on every dollar you earn up to an annual limit, which for 2026 is set at $188,500. After you earn more than that in a year, you stop paying Social Security tax for the rest of the year. The Medicare tax is 1.45% of all your earnings with no income cap. This portion funds the Medicare program, which provides health insurance primarily for people over 65. Here's an interesting part. Your employer pays a matching amount for both. So while you're paying 7.65% from your check, Your employer is also contributing another 7.65% on your behalf, for a total of 15.3% going into the system. Finally, depending on where you live, you'll likely see state and possibly local income taxes deducted. These work like federal taxes but fund state and city level services. Most states have an income tax, and it's another significant bite out of your paycheck. 3. The diagnosis. Part 2, the good guy deductions, your future self. Now that we've covered the mandatory stuff, let's talk about the deductions you have some control over. These can feel like just another drain on your paycheck, but I want you to reframe this. These aren't expenses, they're investments in your future self. These are often called pre-tax deductions because the money is taken out of your gross pay before income taxes are calculated. And this is the magic part. Because this money comes out first, it actually lowers your taxable income. You end up paying less in taxes. The most powerful pre-tax deduction is for a retirement savings plan, like a 401k or 403b. When you contribute a percentage of your paycheck to your 401k, you are literally paying your future self first. That money gets invested and grows over time. For 2026, it's projected you can contribute up to $4,500 per year. And the best part? Many employers offer a match. This is free money. A common match is 100% of your contributions up to, say, 3 to 5% of your salary. If you don't contribute enough to get the full match, you are leaving free money on the table. Another major pre-tax deduction is for your health insurance premiums. If you get health insurance through your job, your share of the cost is typically deducted from your paycheck before taxes, making quality healthcare more affordable. You might also see deductions for a health savings account, HSA, which lets you save for medical expenses tax-free, or for dental and vision insurance. It's so important to see these deductions not as a loss, but as a strategic win. You're getting a tax break while building a safety net for your health and a comfortable retirement. That first paycheck might look smaller, but a chunk of that missing money is already hard at work building your long-term wealth. 4. The solution: taking control and building your financial foundation. Okay, the shock is wearing off, and you've diagnosed where the money went. Now for the fun part, taking back control. It's time to shift from being a passive observer to the active CEO of your own finances. First, your budget is now based on what is pay. Net pay, not gross pay. This is the golden rule. All your plans, rent, groceries, fun, savings, must be based on the actual amount that hits your bank account. A fantastic starting point is the 50-30-120 rule. This framework suggests you aim to allocate your take-home pay like this: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. Needs are the absolute essentials: housing, utilities, groceries, transportation. Wants are everything else: dining out, entertainment, hobbies, subscriptions. That final 20% one is your powerhouse for building wealth, creating an emergency fund, paying off high-interest debt, and investing for the future. Your very first goal for that 20% should be to build an emergency fund. This is your stash of money for life's nasty surprises: a car repair, an unexpected medical bill, or a sudden job loss. Start small and achievable, like $500 or $1,000. Then, work your way up to having 3 to 6 months' worth of essential living expenses saved. This fund is your shield against debt. The best place for it is in a high-yield savings account, where it's separate from your daily spending money and can earn some real interest. Some accounts are offering APYs over 4% as of early 2026. Automate a transfer from every paycheck, even if it's just a small amount. Once your emergency fund is started and you're getting your full employer 401k match, you can start tackling other goals. If you have high-interest debt from credit cards, make that a priority. After that, you can look into increasing your retirement contributions beyond the match or saving for other big goals like a down payment on a house. That's it. Understanding your pay stub is the first rite of passage into financial adulthood. It's a shock, sure, but it's not a setback. It's a lesson. That gap between your gross and net pay isn't just taxes and deductions. It's the story of your financial life. It shows your contribution to society, your investment in your health, and your first steps toward a secure future. You're no longer in the dark. You know the difference between gross and net pay. You know about the villains and good guys of deductions. And most importantly, you know that you are in control. You budget with your net pay. You automate your savings. You claim your free 401k money. This knowledge turns that initial disappointment into power. If this breakdown helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more no-nonsense financial guides. And now I want to hear from you. What was the biggest shock on your first pay stub? Share your story in the comments below. Let's all learn from each other. That first paycheck wasn't a disappointment, it was your awakening. Now you have the roadmap. Now you're in charge. If this helped you in any way, please give us a like, comment, ask what, and don't forget to subscribe. And like always, see you next time.